Hi guys, it's Beth here today from Bourbon Creek Crafts, and today I am using what I have left of collection number 1 from the June 2020 Flavor of the Month kit. And this is the Picnic Time collection. And when I saw the strawberry and that red gingham patterns in this collection, I immediately thought of these pictures of my daughters picking strawberries several years ago. I don't know why, but it came to mind, and so I decided that I was going to go ahead and use those patterns on a scrapbook page. So doing something a little bit different today. I had already pre-cut the strawberry page down to strips because it was going to be tucked behind, so I figured I wouldn't waste the paper. And I cut them down to about 1 inch wide by 4 inches long, I think. And then trimmed that gingham piece down to 5 by 6, and then left the turquoise polka dots as a 6 by 6. I had a scrap of that yellow polka dot left and decided to go ahead and try and use it on this layout somehow. And in the banana split bundle with this kit, there was a set of tag dies. And so I don't have those yet, but I do have another tag die that I got in a previous Flavor of the Month kit. So I just used the top of it, to cut that scrap down to like a tag top shape, and then decided to pull in one of the sentiments from collection number 3, and it's full of life, I think is what it says, or be full of life. And so I thought I would just go ahead and use that as an embellishment on this page because I don't have tons of embellishments. So here I'm going ahead and adhering everything down. My photos I did trim down to 4 by 5 inches just so that I could have some more paper showing around the pictures. I like how that gingham frames the picture on the right there. And then I have some scraps that I am adding as little banner strips over on the left-hand side. And I realized I shouldn't have wiped or pressed down everything that I had just adhered. Normally I don't press it down until I'm done laying everything out. This time I pushed it down and then realized I shouldn't have because I was wanting to tuck that tag, that portion of the tag underneath that turquoise paper, and then these banners I'm going to have to tuck under that picture on the left there. So, but it's fine. It still worked out. So I just took some of those scraps I had and layered them up on the left-hand side, cut them down into the fishtail banners, and then I'm just using some of the Nouveau glue so that I can kind of slide them underneath my edge of my picture there. So I just think this makes a fun, like, whimsical page. And I know I didn't have tons of embellishments, but again, it was the strawberry paper that I really wanted to highlight. And then I loved how the red gingham worked with my daughter's outfit there. So I do decide to pull in some letter stickers from my stash. And I really liked those Heidi Swap stickers that are sitting on top of my trimmer, but I was afraid they were going to be too big. So I ended up going with these plainer Dollar Tree letter stickers, and I kind of wish I would have gone with the Heidi Swap. I think it could have made it work, and it would have filled up that space better. But oh well, I could always pull it up, but it's fine. So the letter stickers and that 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock did come out of my stash, but everything else came from this month's kit. So I'm finishing up my title here with those stickers, and it's just Sweet Harvest. And so once I get that situated, get the letters straight, and then press down really good, I can figure out where else I might want to embellish and what I can embellish with. So I do end up pulling out some of the sequins that came in the kit, and I pull from 2 packs. One I think came with collection number 4, and then one was with the banana split bundle. And I'm just pulling out some of the green, some of the turquoise. It's a little bit bluer than the turquoise that's on there, but that's fine. And then some of the white. And I just wanted to kind of give some little pops to all of that white space that's going around there. And then I had some of that gingham left, so I just decided to cut a little piece down, cut it into a fishtail, and I adhere it to the top of the page. Again, just to kind of pull some of that red up through all of that white. So now it's just a matter of adding some glue to where my sequins go after I fiddle with them one more time. So these photos are from 2015. I'm way behind on scrapbooking, so every chance that I can work in a scrapbook page on any of my design team or collaboration projects, I've been trying to do so to help myself get caught up. So this was a perfect opportunity, and again, a chance to try something different with the kit. So I think it turned out really cute, kind of a simple page, but I like all the pops of color. So after I use that, I decide to go ahead and use up the rest of that kit, and I am using a card sketch for this card, and it's my favorite thing, sketch number 120. So I had one full piece of 6x6 paper left, as well as that larger piece with the hearts and strawberries, and then some smaller scraps. And so when I looked for a sketch, I was trying to find one that was horizontal so that I could use the heart side of the paper. I just thought it would flow better on a card than just the strawberries. So I'm just using some white cardstock for the strip that goes on the left-hand side. And then I'm taking some of those other scraps and cutting them down into some little banner pennant flags, fishtail flags, whatever, for the left-hand side. And the sketch actually called for 4, but I didn't feel like trimming those pieces down anymore, so I just kind of left them. I left 2 of them the width they were and then had trimmed another one down and just decided to go with 3. So I do end up cutting them down to the same length, and then we'll give them some fishtails. So I'm pulling out the Hope You Are Well sentiment from collection number 3. And I just want something that, like a smaller sentiment that I can put over on the right-hand side, like maybe towards the bottom right. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this heart piece down. And I go off to the right just a little bit, and then I have my white strip, and I'm going to adhere it kind of with yellow, that yellow pattern showing on both sides, so it doesn't go all the way up to the hearts. And then we'll just put that mat down on my card base, and I'm just using a red card base. It's the red one from one of the red cardstock pieces in the kit this month. So just kind of doing one last check of the alignment of my banners here and adding the fishtails. And then once I get those kind of situated, I can use my Nuvo glue to come in and adhere those down as well. So once this one is down, I'm going to move on to my sentiment. And I wanted something that that was big enough to hold all 3 of those strips down at once, and the only thing I could find was my phone. So you can see a reflection of my recording camera above that. So I added fishtails to both sides of my sentiment and then realized I didn't like it. I wanted some kind of detail on it, but I didn't like all of the angles and points. So pull out my corner rounder and end up rounding all 4 corners just to give it a more circular feel. And I'm a little happier with that, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. And then there are some of the clear enamel dots left with this kit, so I decided to go ahead and pull those out and use some more. They don't show up real well here on camera, but they give a nice subtle touch in person, which I think is pretty cool. So that is my second project for today. And then I'm evaluating my scraps, trying to figure out if I can make one more card. And I feel I can if I piece some of these scraps together. So here I'm just trying to come up with a layout, figure out what might work. And I end up using 4 different scrap pieces just to kind of puzzle them together there. And I hadn't used the ant side or any of the ant patterns. I think there were a couple of the papers that had an ant pattern on one side, and I hadn't used any of that yet, so I decided to go ahead. And I tried to leave like a border around the edge. So I think all of my strips were about 2 inches, close to 2 inches wide. I think that one with the ants might be a little less than 2, but I cut it down to 5 1/4. So it's almost like there's a 1/4 inch border around the whole card, and then tried to figure out the spacing of all those other pieces. So that is my card mat. I'm going to let that dry, and I have all these ephemera pieces yet left, so I figured I'd try and use some of those. So I'm just trying to figure out what might work. And I decided to go with the ant with the picnic basket. And then I used the tag die from my old Flavor of the Month kit to cut a little tag. And I'm going to use the sentiment Missing You from this Picnic Time stamp set. And we'll stamp that at the bottom of my tag. And once I get that stamp, I'm going to use my Nuvo to adhere my cute little ant guy girl down to my tag. And then this will be the focal point of my card. So kind of let that sit for a minute or so to dry. And then I'm going to pull in some foam squares to adhere to the back just to give it a little bit of pop of dimension. Then I can get this placed down, and I kind of angle it just a little bit to give it some more interest, and then decided I wanted to use up the last of those Nuvo drops. There's 4 left, and I know 4 is an even number, but I just wanted to use them up, so decided to go ahead and use them all. So that is my final card. So the scraps I have left, and then the ephemera that I have left from this kit, and then obviously the stamp set. So I decided to take the scraps that I had left and add them to the inside of my card because I didn't have any kind of decoration on the insides of the card yet. So these are all the cards that I've made with this collection from this video, my hop video. So there's a total of 4 A2 size cards, and then my scrapbook page is what I got out of this collection. So some of the scrap pieces I fishtail, some I just cut at an angle, and some I leave as is when I'm putting them on the inside of the card. So I'm setting those off to dry, and then that yellow it's kind of a plaid. I decided that since I had that yellow tag, I would go ahead and add this yellow scrap just to make the tag make a little more sense, kind of play off the yellow, add a little more yellow to balance it out. So that is my projects for today, finishing off collection number 1. But I hope you guys got some good ideas and enjoyed this video. If so, please do subscribe and stay tuned for some more ideas on using this month's kit. Thanks, and have a great day.